YouTube, so give me a moment to do that. Awesome. So we are now live on YouTube too. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen so you can get right into our topic for today. All right, so our topic for today is how to sell anything online with WooCommerce. And most people will ask, is it really possible to sell anything online with WooCommerce? And the simple answer is that it's possible to sell anything online with WooCommerce. And that means you can sell physical products from things you see, like the regular things people sell online, like from clothes to shoes. And you can move with WooCommerce, you can also sell digital products like ebooks, online courses, event tickets, bookings, reservations, and so on. And for today, I'm going to show you how WooCommerce works and how you can quickly start selling anything online with WooCommerce. And for those of you who don't know what WooCommerce is, you probably may have heard of WordPress and maybe not know what WooCommerce is. So let me start by introducing you to WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is actually a WordPress plugin. It's a way, or the most popular way of doing e-commerce, of selling things online on the WordPress platform. So, and WooCommerce has actually grown beyond being just a WordPress plugin to being the most popular e-commerce platform on the web. So that means any platform you know for selling online, WooCommerce is actually more popular than that platform on the web. And today I will show you how you can get started to use WooCommerce. One of the advantages of using WooCommerce is that for some of you, you're already using WordPress. You could be a bit familiar with WordPress. And the way WooCommerce works is that since it's a WordPress plugin, you just install the WooCommerce plugin, and your shop is just going to have e-commerce functionality. And from there, you can do stuff like setting up payment gateway, setting up shipping, being able to sell physical products, digital products, and then taking advantage of WooCommerce extension to sell things like subscriptions, to sell things like bookings, and so on. I'm just going to be showing us how that works. Now, just to show you a little example of what's possible, this is one of my test sites. I normally like using test site. I have other sites that are not test site, but when it has to do with demo, showing people things, I love to use test site. And I have tons of WooCommerce test sites because I love to explore WooCommerce and show people how things are done with WooCommerce. So this is one of the test sites I have. And on this test site, they are, you can see these are demo products. They are stuff like hoodies, sunglasses, t-shirts, and so on. And people can come, if this was a real store, people can come, they can add this product to their cart, like they would on Jumia or any other platform. They can view their cart, they can increase the stock quantity in the cart, they can proceed to the checkout, and buy these products, and they can, put their information, their address, see the shipping fee and the different shipping options, and they can pay with their card. They can also choose other payment methods like direct demo side. They also like subscriptions products and so on. To show you another way using WooCommerce is possible, this is my site. I think I should go to let me go to the home page to show you what it looks like. And I hope you guys can see my screen because I'm sharing screen now, so I'm not on Zoom again. So I don't know. So can someone just unmute and let me know that you can all see my screen? I need to be sure that you are seeing all the pages.
I can see your screen, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's visible.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So this is what my website looks like. It's built with WordPress. When I'm sharing my screen, ignore the top. of this tab is basically because I'm an admin, I'm logged in. That's why you can see that. So you can also visit my site on your end to see what it looks like. This is what my website looks like. It's built with WordPress. And one of the advantages I have over building my website with WordPress is that there's no limit to what I can do. So like with WooCommerce now, I can install WooCommerce, which is the WordPress plugin, and extend what my site can do. So I currently have the WooCommerce plugin installed on my website. And let me show you one of the use cases I'm using it for. This is a page of my site, and it's a bookings page that allows people to book an appointment with me. So how it works is you can, of course, you can see the address, you can visit it on your hand, so you can also check that on your hand. So how it works is you come and then you see the bookings calendar, and then you click the date you want to schedule with me, and then you get to choose the time that are available based on what I have set. So I can set the time that I'm available, and it's only those times that people will be able to select from. Yeah, and when someone selects the time, they get to see the booking. They get to see booking costs, and this is for, I think each of the time frame is about 15 minutes. So they can check their availability to see if that time is free, because I have, for each of these times frame that you're seeing, there are a certain number of slots that can be booked. So let's say for each of that time frame, I can only accommodate maybe one. And there are some use cases that people want to be able to accommodate only 5 bookings for a particular time slot. Let's say, for instance, you are doing, you're offering maybe a sightseeing services, a tour services, and you can only take 5 people at a time. You can select that maybe by 5 o'clock, only 5 people should be able to book 5 o'clock. And once 5 people have booked, that 5 o'clock becomes available. For mine, if you book this time frame now, it becomes unavailable, because I can't take more than 1 person at that particular time, since I cannot split myself. So there are several use cases, and this is one of the use cases I'm using WooCommerce for, which most people are using to sell products. But this is basically to show you that there's literally nothing you can build when it has to do with e-commerce, with WooCommerce. So people can come, book that time frame, and they can proceed and check out. And if you're in the community, since I said that for us, it's not about doing events like this. It's really about guiding you and making sure one of the things I'm doing for people in the community is making sure that you can book a time with me using this calendar, and then you and I, we can have a one-on-one session where you can have questions, where you can ask questions and get clarifications on whatever you find confusing. Meaning that this meeting is not the only place you can get up. For that, what you need to do is to use the coupon code WOO when you come to these bookings, and just put WOO and then apply the coupon, and then it's going to remove this cost for you. So that's going to make, so you can see this is now 0, meaning it's completely free. And then you get to book your time frame, you proceed to the checkout, and you just fill in your details, and then you can make that bookings without any cost. Once you request confirmation, I'm just going to check and be sure that I can make that appointment. And once I confirm it, you are just going to get the Zoom link. And once it's time, you and I will have a one-on-one session where you can ask your questions. All right, so let me move away from this. I just want to show you first what is possible with WooCommerce, so you understand why I'm super fascinated about WooCommerce. Now, there's another use case I'm working on for WooCommerce, or I'm working on with WooCommerce, which is a donations platform. Because remember I said, as long as anything e-commerce, you can build it with WooCommerce. So I'm just moving to things outside that you normally would not think is possible with WooCommerce, because most of us, when we hear about e-commerce and WooCommerce, we just think about online store, selling products and all that. So I'm just trying to show us other things. So for this is a donation platform where people, this is a donation test product. It's just a test use case I was testing on, where people can donate. So people can select the amount they want to donate. When I was doing this, the person that I was testing this for is not based in Nigeria. That's why you can see this amount. I was just trying to show, because the person was like, oh, I want to have 3 options, only 3 options for people to be able to choose from to donate. And then I just had to show the person how to do that using WooCommerce variable product, which is a core WooCommerce feature, which means it's free. You don't have to pay, just to have this. And then I have a personal use case that I'm working on, a donation platform that I'm testing now where people can make donations. So the way that one works is different. You enter your donation amount. Let's say you want to donate 1,000 naira, and then you get to choose if you want to make that donation, one time or a recurring donation. And if it's recurring donation, you choose the frequency. What's the period you should renew? Is it every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, or every year? And this is actually a real stuff that I'm going to build out, but that I'm working on. And then you click donate now, it takes you to where you just enter your card information. And if you're doing recurring every month or every year, depending on the period you select, once that time comes, the money is just going to be debited from your account automatically. So there's literally nothing when it has to do with e-commerce that you cannot use WooCommerce for. And that is why one of the reasons I choose WooCommerce. Another reason I recommend WooCommerce, I remember someone asked, which of the platforms should I use? And the answer to that question is that you should use WooCommerce. Basically because one is free and two is easy to use. And the most important part is easy to get help. So you can come to communities like this and you tell us what you would like to cover, we cover. You can tell us where you're having difficulty. Even on the WhatsApp group that is open all the time, you can ask questions, and there are tons of people, including myself, who are there to help you. And then there are also meetups, like this, where you can really come and get help. Now, let's move to the interesting part. I did say WooCommerce and WordPress are free, but though they are free, there are some costs you have to, incur, and one of them is the domain registration fee. Now, my website is sondukafia.com. So sondukafia.com is like my address on the internet, just like your house that has a physical address. Some of you, one of the things you don't know, that even including your house, new houses sometimes have to even go and pay to get the numbering and that the number attached. That's also how it works on the internet. So when you need a domain like this, like sondukafia.com, like google.com, you have to register this. This is just like registering your business name. So you have to register this. And aside from the domain name, you're going to also need what is called web hosting. So this site that you're seeing, all the image, this text, and all the other files on the website, they have to be stored somewhere. So just like your phone that has space, that the photos you take inside the contacts yourself are stored somewhere. So that's what web hosting is. So web hosting is like the house itself, where everything is kept, your port, your kettle, the furniture, and so on. And then the domain name is like your house address, which people use to locate the house itself, to see the content of the house. So you're going to
I think his network is gone. We can't hear him again.
Yes.
Okay, let's wait for him.
I was wondering if it's my own connection. But I think it's
unfortunately, it wasn't yours, it was mine. Sorry about that. There are things we don't have control over, and internet is one of them. So I'll switch back to my main connection now. So let's hope I'm not going to break off again. All right, so let me be sure that, okay, we are back. We're also streaming on YouTube. So I'm just going to go back and share my screen again and get back in. So the first thing you're going to need to be able to use WordPress and WooCommerce is to get your domain name and web hosting. And to do that, you get that from what we call a web host. And WooCommerce is one of them, and they happen to be the most popular and most reliable web host in Nigeria. I use them and I recommend them, and they are our partner for the WooCommerce Lagos meetup. Now, some people prefer to use foreign hosts because they say Nigerian web hosting companies are not reliable, but that's not true. I've been using WooCommerce and I've been using Host, and I can tell you they are reliable, and I'm going to also share other reasons why you should use them. Now, one of the reasons you should use them, one is cost. I don't want to get into the exchange rate, but you know how it is by the day. So if you're using a foreign host, you're going to find out that every year what you're going to pay is going to increase. But with Host, you're going to find out that if they say is 5,000 now, is 6,000 now, that's what you're going to pay. It takes about 5, 6, 7 years before the price changes. I think recently they updated the price increases a bit, basically because we all know everything in Nigeria has gone up. But even still with that, it's still very cheap, and I'm going to be showing you just how cheap it is. So once you're on ugohost.ng or ugohost.com, which you are going to see this side, what you want to do is to come to hosting, and they have two types of hosting that we are going to interest. One is the one that it says get web hosting, and this one says host your WordPress site. Now, I normally like to clarify that for both of them, you can host WordPress site, but I'm going to just explain the difference between both. Now, the page that is loading is where it says host your WordPress site, and I'm going to be explaining that plan for. All right, sorry, I had to mute that. All right, so I'm on the WordPress hosting plan, which I'm going to explain the difference with the other regular hosting, which is called shared hosting. So normally for any of the plans you click on, the first thing you want to do is to click on pay annually. I don't recommend paying monthly. One, you could forget and your site goes off. Two, if you're paying annually, you save about 20%. So it just makes sense to just pay annually. And I've never paid monthly, and normally just pay annually. So once you click pay annually, you're going to see the yearly cost. This is for the whole year. And I'm going to explain the difference between WordPress hosting and the shared hosting and which one you should go for. Now, WordPress hosting are basically web hosting platforms that are optimized for WordPress. And because they are optimized and designed solely for WordPress and WooCommerce just tend to run faster there. So this actually gives you a better environment for running WordPress. But what you should know is that they are always on every platform across the globe. They are always more expensive. Now, where you need this WordPress hosting is that if you're building a serious project, let's say like an online store with WooCommerce, that you're sure that this is a project that you're interested in, it's a serious project, it's a real life project that you're going to be pushing traffic to, that you're going to be having several people buying from, then what you want to do is to choose the WordPress hosting plan. And you can start with the least one. And the good part is that you can always upgrade at any time and it will not affect your site. So you can just upgrade from your Google's account, and then you can also get to here. So you can start from here, and as your business grows and you will see that there's a need to get more resources, you can now upgrade, and the upgrade will not affect your site in any way. So this gives you 10 gig of SSD. SSD is the storage space where all your stores, images, all the text, photos, videos, and whatever you have are going to be stored. And it gives you 100 gigabyte of monthly bandwidth. Bandwidth is what determines the number of people that can access your site at a particular time. So it's like being on the road. It's like being on the road, and if the road is not wide, that means 2 to 3 cars cannot pass straight at the same time. So people have to wait. They have to queue up and pass one after the other. So the more bandwidth you have, the more people can access your site at a particular time. So I think with 100 gig of bandwidth, you should be able to have a couple thousand people access your site at a particular time. I think in my experience, 100 gig of bandwidth should be able to take probably up to this is me estimating now, probably up to I think 100,000 or so, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're getting so much traffic and it's those days, you're going to see a notice that says that bandwidth limit have been exceeded. Some of us have seen that on site, including platforms of the federal government where they say bandwidth limit exceeded. This is what they are saying, that this 100 gig or whatever it was that they subscribed for is too small. Zero additional website means you can only host one website, which means zero additional website means you can't add any additional website, which means just your store or your site, for instance, on the cafe.com that you did can only, be there. And this says it's powered by AWS, which shows you how reliable it is. So this is powered by Amazon Web Service, which is one of the most reliable cloud services in the world. So this is not the server is not in Nigeria. In Nigeria you go say like go off and all those things. So this is powered by Amazon, meaning it's on Amazon Web Service infrastructure. So it's actually a very reliable web hosting that I recommend for any project as long as it's a big serious project. And this says no added security. When they say no added security, it doesn't mean that what you're going to get is not secure. It just basically means that they've not added extra add-ons that could give you additional security. But the good thing about WordPress is that there are tons of WordPress security plugins that helps you secure your website. And on the hosting configuration part, they've done the necessary security. This just means that there are no extra, maybe for instance, like paid add-ons that offer extra functionality add-ons are not here. And it also says it comes with free.ng domain, meaning when you buy this plan, you're going to get a free .com.ng domain at no extra cost. And this says free SSL certificate. SSL certificate is a security certificate that when you go, if you see like a website like mine, you can see it says HTTPS. So that SSL certificate has this ACE. So that gives it extra layer of security. This means that even this website get asked the information submitted, like cards, information and all that are encrypted, meaning if someone asks this website, they cannot actually see those information because those information are going to be encrypted. And some of you may have visited some site and then you see a notice saying this site is not secured and all that is because they don't have this certificate. So this is going to give you that security certificate for free. And this is automatic WordPress and plugin update. So which means WordPress and your plugins are going to be automatically updated in the background. So you can also compare this. This one gives you unlimited bandwidth and then 25 gig SSD. So you can just go and check this out. So this actually gives you more resources for that. You can always start here and then upgrade as your business grow. Of course, every business, you always start small and grow. All right, so let me get back to the popular one, which is the shared hosting, which is what most of us know as hosting. For everybody in general, when they talk about buying hosting, everyone is just aware of the shared hosting, which is what most people use. And you're going to see how cheap that is on Google. It's 800 Naira monthly. I'm going to remember you should always pay annually. So I'm going to move to annually, and you're going to see it's just 8,000 Naira per year. So what's the difference between this and that? So the premium plan is 8,000. There's the pro plan and this other plan. Because of time, I'm just going to quickly brush this up. Now, shared hosting, this is shared hosting. And when we talk about shared hosting, it basically means that different sites are sharing the same server. But that does not mean that they are going to be sharing these resources that are located to you. They are just on that server with you. And because other people are on the same server, you can get congested and so on. But that does not mean this does not work. And remember I said this can also host a WordPress site. And I think most WordPress sites are actually on shared hosting. There's some projects that they're going to require high traffic, and then you want them to be extremely fast that you put on WordPress hosting. Does it mean this is slow? No, that's not what it means. But it's just like in the real world where we have cars, and there are different types of cars. It's just also like that in the hosting world, that there are different types of hosting. You cannot compare this car with the other, which also means you cannot compare the resources this offers with what you get on the WordPress hosting. So this starts from the basic plan of it starts with the 6 gig plan. This gives you 6 gig of web space, which means that your entire website file, including WordPress, your images, should not be more than 6 gig. This gives you 30 gig of bandwidth, 10 subdomains. Subdomains is like, for instance, something like example.sunday, example.sunday.com. sondukafia.com. Say anything before this site, before the dot, and then the domain is a subdomain. And where that is helpful is that it can allow you to build different test sites for just playing around, learning the different things that you can do with WordPress and with WooCommerce, while your main site, which is sondukafia.com, is not affected. So these subdomains are going to allow you to install WordPress on other subsites on the subdomains, and that doesn't affect your main site itself. So let's say you want to do web design as a business and you have your domain like I have, sondukafia.com, and I am on the plan that says maybe unlimited, that says 20 subdomains, 40 subdomains. What I can do is that if I have a client called John who wants a site and is like, oh, can I see what it's going to look like? Can we start work? They paid me, and then I want to show what that site is going to look like. I can go and install WordPress on john.sondukafia.com, and then I can finish building the site. And once the customer confirms I like it, oh, let's push this live. I can now buy their domain and hosting if I did not buy initially, and then just move that site over there. So that's like a use case where it can be helpful. 2 add-on domains. 2 add-on domains now means that you can host 2 other sites that does not have to be, for example, the sondukafia.com. They can be something else. They can be josephakinola.com and so on this. So I can host 2 additional websites here. And this also comes with free.com.ng domain, free SSL certificate, unlimited cPanel emails, and unlimited databases. So I don't know if anyone has any question on this. Now, before we get to your question, there are different plans to choose from, but personally on every web host, or I think it's general, I think it's a general thing I do when I buy stuff, that I don't always like to go with the list plan. So for the shared hosting, I normally recommend starting with the pro plan. So let's say you want to start with something affordable. I normally like, starting with, the next plan. So you can start with the pro plan. This is going to give you 12 gig. 6 gig is a bit small, so I recommend just start with this and that. But if you're not sure that you want to get into this, you just want to test and see how everything works, then it's not bad to start with this. But if you're trying to actually put up a site, do something real, I just recommend starting with this. So it just gives you a little more breathing space. It just gives you some additional resources to really play around with things. All right. Anyone has question on hosting and domain before we get in? Because what we are going to be doing soon is getting a plan and then seeing how installing WordPress and WooCommerce actually works. So before we get into that bit that it's a little technical, does anyone have anything they need clarification on?
For now, I'm okay.
All right. So are we all okay? Awesome. All right. Next question, does anyone have like a real project that they want to do that, they want to get domain and hosting for? So you want to put up a real site and you're looking to get domain and hosting around this period.
I think I've already got my domain from WooCommerce. So
okay.
I'm putting up a real site.
Yeah, I know a couple of people have gotten, but I want to know if there's anyone who
planning to.
Okay, is anyone ready to get it today?
Yes.
Sarah,
not today, but this week.
All right, I thought there was someone who was ready to get it today, so I wanted to use that person's one for this example. Okay, so let's see what we can get. Let me go and get any domain. All right, so I'm sure this bit is clear to all of you. So I'm just going to choose any of this plan. So for this, I'm basically using this to show you how this works, which means this is not a real project for me. So I'm just going to go with any of this plan, and the list plan possible because it's just basically a test project for me. So let's see which of these am I going to go with. Okay, so I'm just going to go with, since I normally recommend starting with the pro plan, I'm just going to choose these. And if I'm building a real life e-commerce project that I know that tons I'm willing to promote and tons of people are going to be on it, I'm going to go with the WordPress plan. But since this is just me just starting out small, I'm just going to go with these and I'll choose the pro plan. So let me
Sorry, sir. Can I ask a question?
please go ahead.
The WordPress plan and the pro plan. Have you discussed it? Sorry, I came in late. I apologize for that. The WordPress
Yes.
plan, is it unique to WordPress? Or if I'm going to use WordPress for my site development, or I can use the basic plan for a starter like me?
These other ones can do a shared hosting plan that you can also install and use WordPress. The WordPress plan is designed specifically for WordPress too, and WordPress loads a lot faster there, but that does not mean that these ones are slow. So the WordPress plan is designed solely for WordPress. This is shared hosting. You can host WordPress and you can host other website softwares.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose the pro plan. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose plan. So once you choose a plan, it's going to ask you, sorry, let me mute that. Flora, can you help us mute yourself?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so once you click the choose plan, it's going to ask you to register a domain name. And it has an option for you to transfer your domain if you have a domain from another registrar. If you already and if you have an existing domain with another registrar that you also like to maintain on that registrar and use with this your hosting plan, you just take this option. But for most of you, you're just going to choose register a new domain since we want to actually register our domain here on WooCommerce. And because I'm going to be giving free.com.ng domain on this is my website, I'm going to actually go and register that. So let's see, what do I register? I'm not building any real project site. I'm just going to think, let me see, this on the .ng is free. .ng. And just like with business name that they have to check if that name is free, I'm just going to also do check here. And then it's going to check if sunnycafe.com.ng is free. And as you can see, sunnycafe.com.ng is free. If I should just do Sunday Cafe store, okay, let me do Sunday. Okay, let me just use sunnycafe.com.ng. But what you just need to understand, this needs to be, if you're doing an online store, this is just like the name you want to use for your store, the domain name you want to use, that's what you're registering here. If it's a website like sundocafe.com, that is what you want to register, enter here. So, and if you notice something here, I made a mistake of even adding the extension here. You don't do that. So what you want to do is just to enter the name only here and choose the extension here. But I'm glad WooCommerce was actually able to detect that I added a .com and it didn't add it to the domain name. So, but don't always add that. Just add the name itself only here and then choose the extension you want. I want to take the free .com.ng offer. So with that, I just type .com.ng here and then I select it from the list. If you want the .com, you can choose .com, but you have to know that you're going to pay extra for the .com. When you choose .com, you're going to pay the cost of the .com domain itself. So I'm just going to choose .com.ng since this is a test project, just to show you how to do this. So I'm just going to choose that so I don't spend extra money on this. So I'm comfortable with sundocafe.com.ng. So I'm just going to go ahead and do continue. And it's going to bring me to where I'm going to be shown an overview of what I'm paying for. So you can see here, it shows what I'm paying for and that I'm paying for annually and other options. Yeah, but I normally prefer paying yearly. So I just know that I've gotten that off my list. So annually, and they have some other add-ons that they try to upsell to you here and try to get you to buy them. But if you don't need any of this, you don't actually have to worry about it. So they're saying sideload website security, which just provides additional security, but this is not a feature I need. So I'm just going to skip this. If you feel you need this, you can get it, but WordPress also has security plugins that you can also use. So this is an optional, this is very optional. If you need it, you can get it. I mostly don't get extra add-ons. And there's CodeGuard website backup for just to back up your site. If you need that, you can add that. But personally, I'm just going to go ahead and do none. Everything is by default is at none. So which means they're not being added. So I don't need any of the extra add-ons. I don't need any of the extra additional services that they're showing. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't select anything, and I just come here and click continue, and I can see what I'm paying for: Linux Web Hosting Pro, Linux Shared Hosting annually. And with that, I'm just going to click continue. So it takes me to where I can actually make payment. Now for you guys, when you get here, you're saying for me, yeah, it is showing my billing information basically because I'm logged in. So for you, you're going to have to create an account. So when you, and that means you are going to have to enter your information. The most important information being your phone number and your email address. So you're going to enter that information. And then once you enter that, you're going to also select the method you want to pay. So you can select pay stack and then enter your card information. You can select Rev by Flutterwave, and then it's just going to show you later on where you can enter your card information and pay. And rest assured that it's completely safe to enter your card information. I think I have my card entered on tons of websites and I've never had any issue. That's basically because technology has improved over the years. And you notice that at times, even before you are even billed, you have to enter the OTP that is sent, to your phone number. So which means the process is very secure. And even if someone asks who go host, they cannot get your website, they cannot get your card information because it's encrypted. So people Google cannot be hacked and your card information will be used. And even them on their hand cannot even see your card information. So it's completely safe. So since I have an account with WooCommerce and I'm logged into that account, I'm just going to go ahead and use clicks on the capture. So you use my existing account and saves me time. So I don't have to be creating an account. And one important thing you have to do is to click, I have read and agreed to the terms of service. So you have to check this for you to be able to proceed and complete the process. So once you double check that the domain name you want to get is correct here, and that the hosting plan is what you want, what you just want to do is to click on where it says promotion. What you want to do is to enter the coupon code WOO. This gives us discount. I'm not sure if this is going to work for me since I've used it a couple of times, but let me try. So remember, the coupon code we use for the community is WOO, and this gives you discount when you are purchasing web hosting on WooCommerce. So just enter WOO and click validate code, and it's going to apply that code to your card. You see this was 11K before. It has reduced because of the code, even though I think I've used it before. So you see this has discounted my card, so the price has reduced. Once you get that 5% discount, you do checkout, and you see I've not accepted the terms of service. I cannot check out, and I'm going to move to the checkout. I'm using Paystack subscription. Let's see, I may not have to enter my card information since I had already had it added here on WooCommerce before. But for you, this is the final page where you pay the invoice. So for you on this page, you have to enter your card details, and it's simple. You're just going to show, say, your card number and just the information on the card, and then a code is going to be sent to your phone just to confirm that you are the one. A code is going to be sent to the phone number on your account just to confirm that you are the one making that transaction. And once you enter that code, payment will be taken. So I'm going to click pay with Paystack, and this is going to debit me automatically. And that's basically because I already have my card information entered So I'm just going to choose pay stack subscription. But just to show you the card information field, if I click pay now, it's going to show that page, but I don't want to do that since I have this. Let me use this just to save us some time. So I'm just going to say pay with pay stack. And I think it's going to debit my card because I have my card linked already. Let's see. All right, I've gotten a debit alert on my phone, but it's yet to load and show me the success page. I think my network is a bit slow because my video is up on Zoom, YouTube too, and I'm sharing my screen. So let's give it a moment, it's going to load. But I know I've already gotten the debit alert on my phone. This normally just happens immediately, but my network is slow today. I've also gotten a message from WooCommerce saying that my plan purchase has been. So let me show you. Yep. So finally, it has finished loading. So it says here order placed. Now, another thing I forgot to mention with WooCommerce is that they also have bank payment method. If you select that method, you can go to the bank, make the deposit into the bank, and then just snap that teller and then email it to support@woocommerce.com or call their phone number, and then they will guide you. And once you email that teller to them, they're just going to confirm that and then activate your plan. And one advantage to choose WooCommerce over foreign platform is that now Nigerian banks have a limit of $20 on cards. So your regular MasterCard, Visa card, Verve card cannot do more than $20 in a month. And you're going to find out that on foreign hosts, the hosting plans are mostly going to cost more than $20. So that's something else to take into consideration. All right, so I'm going to, once you've done this, it says other place, you want to do continue to client area. And this is going to take me to my WooCommerce account dashboard. And to explain a few things here, once you are at WooCommerce dashboard, there are a few things you need to understand. Here it says services, here domains, here unpaid invoice, tickets, and so on. Now I think I have two WooCommerce accounts, and the other one has most of my hosting services. This I mostly use for domain registrations, and you can see that I have 28 domains registered here and 2 services, which is the one we just bought now. For services, yeah, hosting is what it calls the services. So the hosting plans are regarded as services. So now to begin the process of building our website, what we need to do is to click on services, and it's going to show us our web hosting services. So you can see here, this is soundtocapture.com.ng, the one we just bought. And you can just go ahead and I think by now WooCommerce would have sent me an email with the information for this plan, but you can also just click here anywhere outside here just to see additional information regarding this our hosting plan. And once you click here, from here you can access the cPanel. So you can click here to access your cPanel, which I'm going to explain what it is soon. But before that, let me check my email, which is one of the first things you want to do once you sign up and purchase a plan. You want to go and check your email inbox, and WooCommerce would have sent you information regarding what you just paid for. So you can see here, this is WooCommerce, the payment I made. This is the one confirming the domain registration, and this is hosting details, which is very important. So once you purchase the hosting, you want to get the hosting details. So you can see where it says cPanel URL. cPanel is where you actually install WordPress. So it's very important that you know your cPanel URL. And for mail site, it's also always your domain name /cPanel. So for every website that is using, a cPanel, hosting, just going to go your domain /cPanel. But I need this information for login. Normally, you don't show this information to the public, but because this is just a demo that we are using, I can show you this information. But make sure you don't always share this information with the public, because with this information, someone can take over, your website and your web hosting in general. So I'm just going to go to sonographer.com.ng/cpanel, and let's see. I don't think this is ready. I think this is, at times it could just take a little while for, most times it's activated instantly, but at times it could take a little while before it's ready. Let me try it through the IP. Okay, so with the IP, it's up. So let's see. I'm just going to copy this and then copy this and log in. So at times, immediately just watch it. Me just want to give it 5 to 10 minutes just for everything to fully set up sonographer.com.ng, so that if you're trying to access it through your domain, it will work. Because at times we just need a few minutes for everything to get activated. So what we want to do now is to install WordPress, which I'm just going to. So you just scroll down and find WordPress. So you can see WordPress here. You just click on it. And see here, it just gives you a little bit of information about WordPress. What you want to do is to click on this install now, and then just going to show you the information, asking you where you want to install WordPress. So we want it on sonographer.com.ng. If you have multiple domains, or if you had created subdomains on your cPanel account, you can select that as an option. Yeah. So, and then it says in directory WP, what you want to always do is to remove this WP. Now, what this means is it's asking you the directory you want to install WordPress. If I leave WP, that means to access this installation, this side, you have to go to sonographer.com.ng/WP, which is not what I want. I want to install this on what we call the .com.ng itself. It's important I installed it, but my site is not showing anything. That means that is because you did not install it on this, your domain itself. You had installed it in this directory. So what you always want to do is to take this out if you want your installation to be here. Except you just want it to be in something like maybe demo or example, because you don't want to put it on your main domain. You just want to have maybe a test site you can play around with that is not on your main domain. For instance, I have sonographer.com, which is my main website, but I want to have some way, because I want to test one feature of WooCommerce, or I want to build a test site. I can install WordPress on sonographer.com/test project, and that will not affect my existing site. Because if an installation already exists on sonographer.com and I try to install WordPress on it again, what I will be doing is overriding, deleting the previous installation, which means I would have tampered with my existing website. I hope that is clear enough. So I'm going to take this out because I want this installation to be on sonographer.com.ng, and I like to leave everything else exactly how it is. And here it has for admin details. This is the login information that you're going to be using for your WordPress site. And what you want to do is that you don't leave it at admin. Set it to something, even if it's your nickname. For this, I'm going to say WooCom. But just make this. Now, one of the ways people hack site is that hackers know that by default, most people like to use admin. So the only thing they have to try to guess is your password. So don't always leave this at admin. Use something. It could be your nickname. It could be something. Just get creative with this. And password, just type in password that you can remember. I'm just going to use my password generator. And let me see. Okay, let me just type in something. Let me do. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope you guys can remember this password for me, because I will not remember. So someone should just copy this for us. And this, make sure you don't use the email that is in the default field. You want to use your active email address. The reason being that if you forget your password, this is the email that you're going to use to reset that password. So make sure you enter your active email address in this field. So for me, that is either email@sonographer.com or email@sonographer.com. This is my active email address that I use, or sondukafia@gmail.com. Let me use this. So for this, make sure you use your active email address. Is very important. And yeah, it says site name, site description. Don't worry, all these can always be updated in WordPress. The important thing to do is just to take out these and to enter your username, enter a password. You don't need to do any other thing again, except you know what you're doing. And you don't even have to install theme from here. I prefer doing all that within WordPress. Once you've done that, you want to go to the bottom and say install and click on install. And in less than a minute, WordPress is going to be installed. And what that means, what WordPress is installed, it means you have a website. The difference is that nothing is on that website. So it's just going to be a basic WordPress installation with a default WordPress configuration. But once that installation is complete, you have a website up, and anyone anywhere in the world can actually access that website and see the contents there. So let's allow this to finish. So it has finished installing. So if I go to sondukafia.com.ng, I think this is still propagating. It's still propagating because it's a new domain. So we are not going to be able to use it, but WordPress is installed. If I'm sure before we finish this meetup, is going to be up. Let me try this other link. All right, so both of them are not hub. Let's see. Okay, this cannot access WP admin. Okay, so this is still propagating.com.ng. Normally, if this was .com, it would have been up by now. .com.ng takes just a little while to propagate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a fresh installation to show us this. So let's see, let me go back to get to my client area. Give me a moment, I have tons of sites. I'm trying to figure out which of them to use for this. Okay, so let's use these. Let's see. Let me go back to I'm going to access this cPanel. And remember, to access your cPanel, you just need to go to your domain /cPanel, and Ogos would have messaged you, emailed you the cPanel information. So for this is a real site for a client that I built, I think about 5 years ago. What I'm going to do is to create a subdomain here, which helps some of us to learn about subdomains. I'm just going to create a subdomain, and we're still going to continue using that Sunday. Or let me just call this, let me call it store. And then I'm going to do create. And I'm going to go back to cPanel. By the way, you may notice that at times, depending on, at times your team that is activated for your site, but all the options are still going to be there. So this particular plan hosting has been around for a long time. So I'm thinking it's using one of the whole team. So for you, it may be different, but all the options are still going to be at the same places. So I'm going to go and install WordPress like we did earlier. And you're going to see what I'm going to do differently. I'm going to do install now. And instead of installing it on the domain itself, which is example.ultimate.com.ng, I'm going to choose my subdomain that I created. So what it will do is that it will not go and override this client side. It might allow me to, like, and some businesses do this. So maybe they have a real business side, but they want to add the store and they can decide to put their store on the subdomain. So now you've seen how they do that. I don't want this. If I leave WP here, what it's going to do mean that is that it's going to install WordPress on store.com.ng/WP, which is not what I want. So I want it on this. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to scroll down and create the username, and the password is going to be, I've even forgotten the password I set for the other side. You guys were supposed to remember.
WooCommerce 1, 2, 3, 4.
Remember the password I used? 1, 2, 3. First, remember to enter a real email address at gmail.com and just go down and click. Let's confirm that we are putting it on store. Okay, so it's on store, and then click install now because that's a real site and we don't want to override it. Let's see. While it's installing, let me just go back and check if this is our domain. Let me see if our domain is finally ready. Okay, still loading. Let's see. This is going to finish installing any moment from now. It normally doesn't take long. It always shows this may take 3 to 4 minutes, but I've never seen it take more than a minute before. So let's see. This has even taken longer than I thought it would, probably because of my connection. I believe people are using my network with me today, so it's been a bit slow. Almost there. Let's see. I'm not even sure all is well that this is taking this long. It has never taken this long before. It has never ever taken this long. I'm even beginning to think something is wrong because I've been doing this for probably 10 years now or so, 7. And I've never seen it take this long. So I'm not even wondering if it will finish installing because I didn't even check if I have space on the site I'm installing it on. But that's one thing I should have checked, if there's space. And another thing is that I've even finished installing. Let me see if it has finished installing. Store.dems ultimate.com.ng, because it might finish installing and okay, it hasn't. Still installing. While we're waiting for this, I'm going to open cPanel on a new tab just so I can check that the space on this side, because normally just does the installation instantly. So looks like this is my connection because everything is slow. Bear with me for a moment. Nope. Let's see. Okay, seems to be loading now. Just 5% is what we're waiting for. We go back to Sunday. Okay, it looks like this is done. So let's see if we'll be able to access the installation. We still can't. Give me a moment. I think something is wrong. Let's see. Trying to understand what's going on. Yeah. Nope. Sorry guys, bear with me for a moment. I've had this other side up for about 5 years and not been there recently. So I'm trying to see something. when the site is causing it not to load. Okay. Something is not right. It's still loading to. All right, so I'm just going to spin up another test site and use for this. Let me just get one of my test sites. And use for this. Oh, give me a moment, let me see. Okay, let me use this. Oh, let me quickly set a password. Since I cannot remember the password for this site. Okay, we should be set to go. Awesome, but to achieve what I want us to get, I'm going to have to reset this site. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't remember the username. I think this should be. Oops. See something. Yep. Okay, we're back. Let me show us a quick trick. Let's say you build your site, because I started working on, I use this for our last meetup, but what I'm trying to do is to show us what it looks like when you install WordPress for the first time. So this is this. I use it for the meetup before the last one, and we have this, but you don't know how we got to here. So what I'm going to do is to completely reset the site, which I'm going to use a plugin. Just a plugin for resetting the site. So this is just going to give me a fresh installation, what you will see if you installed WordPress for the first time. I'm going to just activate this, and it's going to allow me to completely reset my site. To WP reset. And reset. You normally don't have to do this. This is because I'm using an existing installation to do this. That is why I have to. I'm not even sure what it's showing me again. I'll not use this in a while. Isaiah, you want to say something? While I reset this.
Yes, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, that you deleted a .htaccess file. What's the function of your
That question. No, it's a file by the web host that it determines if a site can also be accessed. It's used to configure redirection, some server stuff, and so on. I'm thinking the htaccess file may have been messed up, which is why I wasn't able to access that. I was trying to reset it and create the .htaccess file, but I don't think that worked.
Okay, because I encountered a problem on one of my sites, and it required me
Yes.
to delete the htaccess, and I didn't know what it was.
Okay, so I was trying to, probably what I should have done was to, let me see. If I delete this. See if I create a new one. Try to see that will allow to. So I'm going to continue on. Where were we? So we're trying to reset our site. And let's see. All right, so this is what a fresh installation should look like. So what we did, which we had completed on sunducafia.com.ng. Oh, finally, I told you guys it was loading, that it would take a while to load. So normally, because it's a new domain, it needed a while to propagate it. That's saying it has finished now, which means after you do the installation, you don't have to do anything, just leave it. And I think the other one we did, the store.idmsultimate.com, you can see it's also up. I think for this, I was right that it was a .htaccess file. And I think what I did also fixed that. So both, it's crazy. So both our side are up. And you can see with the new one that we did not have to do anything. So it happens everywhere with every host across the world that at times immediately just buy a new domain. You need to just give it a few minutes for you to set up to propagate. It's the technical stuff. So some configuration needs to be done to get it up. So this is up. And for this, the store, this, you normally don't have to do anything. It should just load on its own. I think if we had given it some time to maybe 10, 15 minutes, it would have also fixed that up. But since I was also in a hurry, I also needed to try a few tricks to try and speed things up. So both our side are now up and I don't know which to use. So we're just going to get back and continue with sunducafia.com.ng since that's what you would do. So we are now going to do, now normally to access any WordPress site, you do /WP admin. That's like the default login link for every WordPress site. You can see that when we finish installing our, okay, I think I had closed those pages. Okay, look at it here. It said WordPress has been installed at sunducafia.com.ng. So once you finish your installation, it's better for you to look at where you installed WordPress, because where you install WordPress is where the site you're building is going to be on. And it says administrative URL, sunducafia.com.ng/WP-admin. That is where you're going to go to be able to access your WordPress website. So if you click this, it should, since you are in the cPanel, I think if you click this, normally it automatically logs you in. But what you need to know is that WP admin is the default URL to log into any WordPress website. So that's where you log into the backend where you configure your site. So I don't know for our own, do you guys still remember our username and password? Because I said that you should take note of that. So you visit /wp-admin, and then you log in from the, wow. I'm actually glad to see that both stores are up. So let's see. Who remembers the username? I think it was WooCom, correct? And
WooCom. Yes, WooCom and WooCom 1234.
how did you spell this WooCom? Was it capital? What was it?
Capital W and capital C.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then you click login. So if you've forgotten your password, you just click lost password here, and it's going to send a password reset link to that email that I said is very important that you enter an active email. And from there, once you click on that link, it's going to take you to where you can set a new password. So let's click on login, and it's going to log us into our site. And I'm going to go ahead and close every other additional pages I had open. It looks like what we needed to do was to just exercise a little patience for the installations to get set up. But when you are doing, oops, I think our password is wrong. I thought we said it was woo. Okay, let me use my email. So you can always use either your email, the email you have set as the admin email for the login, or the username, and then the password. I'm told it's WooCom1234, but this thing is saying it's wrong. So I'm not sure. So we can do, since
It's
we,
WooCom 12345.
oh, it's 12345. We're not entering the 5. Okay, so we click on login. If it's correct, it will log us in. Awesome. So we now have the correct password. So you can see that there's nothing on our side. And what we've done so far only is to install WordPress. So if you wanted to build a blog with this now, we can just continue, pick a blog theme, add posts, and we can start building. If we wanted to build a business site, we can, just start building from here, but that's not what we are here for. But there are going to be other events where you'll be shown how to do that. Our focus is on e-commerce, which is, building store, building booking websites, hotel booking, whatever e-commerce, feature you can think of. That's what our use case is. So for that, what we want to do is first go and install the WooCommerce plugin, since it's what is going to be offering that functionality. So we're going to go to plugins, and then we're going to go add new, and then we are going to search for WooCommerce, and then we are going to install and activate it, and then we are going to add. You are going to see that we are going to have extra features here in our WordPress dashboard. So let's go ahead and type in WooCommerce. Okay, we have a little challenge, and the challenge is that the default PHP version that is installed on our cPanel is low. So we're going to have to upgrade it, which is not bad, but I think the advantage is that this also is going to help you learn another technical thing. So let's see. For this, if you see this, just email Ugos and they're going to do the upgrade for you. But if you are someone like me who likes technical thing and you're interested in getting technical, just go to your Ugos dashboard. My services, find your domain name. Okay, you could just log into, I'm trying to get access our cPanel, which is all this thing I'm doing. So I can just do sondegaffer.com.ng/cPanel, which is the default standard stuff. And then I go to the email who goes, I send with the details. Sunday UK. So you send Sunday UK, put the password, log into cPanel. I think I'm on the wrong. Oh, I entered sondegaffer.com.ng.com first, like not that. I'm getting things mixed up. I was using sondegaffer.com instead of .com.ng, so it was giving me another cPanel account. So this is what I needed to do. .com.ng. So Sunday UK, and then I press the password and then log in. And because I'm doing the correct thing now, it now just works. And what I want to do is to find, you can just search for it, PHP, or you can scroll down and find it. There's an option for that here where we can update our PHP. Oh, I think it should be this guy or this. It's normally the manager. So type PHP manager and click this. Nope. This is not giving me an option to, okay, I mix that up. So I just select my domain here, sonicgrapher.com.ng, and it says it inherited PHP 5.6, which is too low. So we're just going to go to PHP version here, select it, and we're going to upgrade to the minimum recommended PHP version for WooCommerce is 7.4. So we're going to just select 7.4, or you can just do 8.0 to be on the safe side, but I'll do 7.4 and then click on apply. And you've learned one very important thing, how to update PHP version. Go to YouTube, you see that there are tons of video on it because a lot of people don't know how that is done, but you've learned one extra thing today. And let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So let me close some pages because we have tons of pages and it's beginning to get confusing. So let's refresh this. Now we cannot install the PHP installation missing the manual extension. This is crazy. I think this is probably still installing. Let me refresh so I can see what's going on. We are now at 7.4. Yeah, so this is correct. This is 7.4. I'm thinking this error is going to fix itself. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to update to 8.0. Give me a moment. Let me start checking the second one to see what PHP version is on it too. So my network is a bit slow today. And not to worry, the next phase we want to cover is not going to take more than 30 minutes, so just bear with me. This first will come and will come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That we use the same password here. And let me see. I want to see the PHP version here. All right, so for this, the PHP version is up to date, so we're going to just switch and use this. Now to explain, we just have a bit of technical issue. I think we're going to also have that here. It doesn't look like we have. The issue we have is that our server, the PHP version is 7 or is 5 point something, which is too low for WooCommerce. WooCommerce requires a minimum of 7.4. So all what you need to do if you see that problem, all what you need is just to message support at woocommerce.com, and they're just going to upgrade you to 8.0 or 7.4 and take care of any extra configuration. So it's not something that you need to worry yourself about. The challenge for us is that we are seeing it in the middle, and that I think is also dependent on the server that that you're up on. You can see that this other one is on a different server, and for that we can easily go ahead and install WooCommerce. But the PHP version here is also low, so we need to get that upgraded by WooCommerce, which is not something we need to do. We just email them and let them know we are trying to install a plugin that requires an higher version of PHP, and they just get to fix that for us. That's not something that we can fix. The error, the notice they are giving on the site is something that requires server access to fix. So it's not something that we can fix ourselves. Okay, so we're just going to go and use the other side that we had reset. That's Woo Lagos. Since what I'm happy is that you've been able to see what the default installation looks like. So after you install WordPress, this is what you're going to see at the end of the day. So with that, you can see it's the same thing here on the Woo Lagos side. So we can now continue from here and move forward there. So it's just a simple thing. It's just updating that PHP version, because every software or plugin has a required PHP version, and what is on our side doesn't meet what is required by WooCommerce. Is just having that updated for us, which is just sending an email. So for that, all you need to do is to go to your email whenever you want to contact Google, if you have any problems. So go to your email and just compose a new email and send it to support@woocommerce.com. So I can just put the subject update PHP version, and then I can just say, please update the PHP version on my site to 8.0 for compatibility with WooCommerce. And most time within 24 hours, we're just going to get that request done. Something else you may also need to say is install free SSL certificate on my domain sundaycafe.com.ng. I'm using the opportunity to show us this because it's something you also need to tell them to install that SSL certificate, which they said it comes with on your, by default, it's not installed. So you have to just email them like this to install it, and then you send, and within 24 hours, they will see that request. You can also come to your account area, and where it says support, you can click open ticket, and then just open a new ticket from your account area here to customer service desk. If you're trying to get your hosting activated after you've paid into the bank, you can just open a ticket for customer billing desk. Well, let me show you this example. And then you just enter the subject and the message, what you want them to do, and you click submit. And within 24 hours, you get a response. Once they send a response, you also see a notification in you see the email in your inbox. All right, so let's go back and okay, so let's go back to our site dashboard and actually install WooCommerce and start setting up our site so you see how simple it is. For someone like me, I think now, because I've done it over the years, I can set up a site within a day. There are stores that I've put up, within an hour to 2 hours, basically because I'm used to the process, because I've done it over and over again. So I'm just going to I'm going to search for WooCommerce And then I'm going to install it. So we can go ahead and, okay, I think this is installed. I clicked this before, so it has installed, but it's showing that there's an update. So I'm just going to click and do that update. And then I'm also going to go back to install plugins. And I'm just going to delete WooCommerce because I want us to install it together, because I always like for people to see the whole process. And then I'm going to go back and click add new. Search for WooCommerce, just so we do that process together. Install now. And then once you've done install, it's going to show activate. You click activate. So remember, first thing, we bought our domain, we got our hosting, and then we went to our cPanel where we installed WordPress. And then now we've installed the WooCommerce plugin. And once you've installed WooCommerce, it's going to show you this setup screen. So you want to enter your information here. So this address is going to be used for your store information. So you can either enter it or you can skip it. So you can enter, let me use my Gmail. So address, let me see which of the address am I going to use. Okay, so let me use this. And Lagos City. And so my, what's it called? I have a system that just basically enters this for me. So, so you just fill in your address. I don't need this. You can also skip this, but I normally recommend doing this because these are information that is required for a store. So just enter your address, your city, your email address, untick this, and do continue to the next step. It asks if you want to get into this usage tracking, which WooCommerce just takes advantage of to help them improve the WooCommerce plugin. You can say yes, count me in, or no thanks, depending on what you want. And then you click on continue. It takes you, it asks you what your store is about. You can just, if you're setting up a real store, you can just enter what your store, you can just select what your store is about. This is not a real store. I'm just going to say orders, and then I'm just going to say test site. And what do you want to sell? Physical products, subscriptions, and the rest. Just leave this at physical products. Avoid selecting things here, except you want to add this functionality. But one thing you should know is that when you click subscription, what you will be doing here is buying these products, these extensions, and this is the price per month, and they're going to charge you the yearly fee. Now, these are not part of the core WooCommerce plugin. These are like extensions to extend WooCommerce. So you should, these are the yearly prices, except you want to buy these extensions, which you don't need if you just want to use WooCommerce to, sell, products, and you don't need, this is dependent on if you need these functionalities. I don't need these functionalities. I'm going to make sure I don't check these, and then I'm just going to click on continue, and it's going to take me to the next step. Tell us about your business. How many products do you plan to sell? Just select anything. This is a test site, so let me just do 11 to 100. Currently selling elsewhere. Are you selling somewhere else? Like, do you have a physical store? Do you have a different store powered by WooCommerce, and so on? Just select what is applicable to you. How many employees do you have? Maybe less than 10, or it's just you. These are not very important stuff. What's your current annual revenue? This is just basically information to give WooCommerce an idea of, about the people using WooCommerce. So just select whatever. If you're a builder setting up for a client, you can just select this and then you click continue. These are just add recommended business feature to my site. These are just going to install extra plugins on your site. I normally recommend, depending on you, if you wanted to add extra features, like it's going to show you all the features it's going to add at the bottom. Jetpack, Meltthread, Google Listing and Ads, and so on. You can leave this check if you want it, or you can uncheck this so you install extra features or plugins on your own terms when you need them, so that they don't just get installed by default. So I'm going to uncheck this and click continue. And Now, every site requires a theme, and in WordPress, a theme determines the look and layout of your site. Is a good example would be, the Java days when all of us we used to go and find one Java theme and we install. The look of our phone will change. Even now, your Android phone, you go, you install a theme and the look changes. That is what theme also does in WordPress and WooCommerce. So theme design, it determines the layout of your store, how your store is going to look. And there are tons of free themes to choose from. There are also paid themes, but we don't want to go into a paid theme. We want to use free theme because of there are tons of very good free themes we can choose from. So we can say free themes, and then it's going to show several of them. And we're also going to go back later and select themes. So we can choose from here, or we can just come and we can choose from here if we want, or we can say continue with my active theme. So this is the theme that is currently active on our site. This is the default theme that comes with WordPress. So we can say continue with my active theme, which could be 2020, it could be 2022, depending on your WordPress installation. So you can say continue with my active theme, or you can choose Storefront. Now, Storefront is one of the most recommended themes if you're using WooCommerce. The reason is that is like the default, the core WooCommerce theme that really works well with WooCommerce. But there are tons and thousands of other themes that works with WooCommerce. But if you need a free theme, that is fast and is also recommended for WooCommerce, you can choose Storefront. And since we are trying to build a store, I'm just going to go ahead and choose Storefront. Or I could just say, let me just say continue with my active theme, and then I'm going to show you from the WordPress dashboard how you can install themes. Just in case if you have your WordPress site already set up, and then you also get to know how to install theme. So this just shows this. I'm going to click X, and what I want to do is to go to appearance, themes, and then I'm going to search for, okay, we already have the Storefront theme. So I'm going to, we already have it basically because we have reset our site. So I'm going to delete this just because I want to show you how to find it. So you click add new, and in the themes menu, you just search for Storefront. Look at it here. You can click, then you click install. And since I actually want to use it for this test project, once I install it, I'm going to activate it. So for you, if you have existing WordPress site that's already up and is well designed, you don't need to change theme again. You can continue using the theme that you're using, except you don't like it, or except your site is just a store you're setting up and you want a theme just for that, you can choose Storefront. If you notice that if we visit our site, which I'm going to do on a new tab, we're going to see that the look is going to change from what it was before. Look at what it looks like. And for the record, it looks like this now because we've not done anything, but we're going to start the process of customizing our site, and you're going to see how simple it is. So the next thing I want to do is go back to the dashboard here. And if I go to appearance, Storefront, if I go to appearance, Storefront is saying design your store. Now, what I want to do is that Storefront has what we call demo contents. For most WordPress themes, when you install, for instance, you go and you see a theme, you see how it looks and all that, and you want your site to quickly look like that. One of the fastest way to achieve that, if it's a new installation like this that you don't have things on, is to import the demo contents. And for Storefront, if you go to appearance, Storefront, after installing Storefront theme, it's going to show you this option. Create a homepage using Storefront homepage template, add example products. Once you do this, it's going to add example products. So your site is going to look like the Storefront demo. And from there, you can continue customizing your site. So I'm just going to click, let's go, saying you should create a homepage and add example products, just so we go to see what our site is going to look like. And you're going to see that immediately it's going to bring in demo contents. You're seeing that it has added some demo contents on our site. So you can skip some of them. You can see, and then once you make any changes within here, it's called the customizer, where you make some changes in WordPress. You want to click on publish for it to publish those changes. quickly, let me show us one thing. When we're installing WordPress, I said that we could change our site name, the display name later. So you do that on that site identity. It says site title Woo Lagos. So for you, this is going to be your store name or your business name, depending on what your business is. So let's assume this is a XYZ store. And then I could say your #1 shops. I could put our tagline or our slogan. Yeah, #1 shop. And then I click on publish. And we can also add a logo to our site, which we upload. Yeah. So I'm going to close this and then open our site again. So you're going to see the difference. So look at what our site looks like now. Stuff from that imported the demo content. So you can see this looks like a real store. And we can now go back. This you see this year it says shop by category and it's showing different categories. So to make this as, what we just need to do is to add our logo, and then we can always edit and change all of this information. So if we go to pages, we are going to see the page that is our home page. We are going to see home page, and this is the page that has all this information. And if we edit that page, we're going to see all this information that we are seeing here on that page. And we can remove sections that we don't want. If we feel what is adding is too much, we can remove sections that we don't want. So we can come and then we can edit this text. So I can say, welcome to XYZ store. I can click on this image, just click on it, and I can change, the image to something else, just to make it, just to customize it and make it look like her. So I can just click on the image, and then I can just change the image to something else. You can click replace, and then you can change the image. But I don't have any other image to use, so I'm just going to use this. I can click anywhere here and just change the text. You just click and you can start changing things. So that's how easy it is. New hint, I can just change all this information. And take note that for all of this, for this section where it says new hint, you notice that if you come here, filter by product category, you can also filter products by certain category, but you can always leave it by the default, where the default settings is going to show the newest products on your site. We recommend, these are products that you recommend. You can change this to something else. And then it says order by newness. So this is being ordered by new product, the newest products. You can change the order to something else, and you can see it says we could recommend, and here you get to select the product that you want to recommend. Yes, so you can select this belt, and then you can remove maybe the hoodie here. So you can click the X here, and then that removes that. So that's just showing you that you can personalize this, and you can remove sections you don't like. Let me see, what don't I like? You can also add sections. So to add sections, either you click this plus sign here or you click this plus sign here. And then WooCommerce has what we call blocks. So for instance, there's a product by category block that allows you to add products by from certain category. But just to show you all the blocks that comes with WooCommerce, I'm going to click here. And if I scroll down, I'm going to see WooCommerce somewhere. And then it's going to show me all the blocks that comes with WooCommerce. So for those of you who have been using WordPress before now, you notice that WordPress had a different editor, but I think the last 2 years, WordPress has been working on a new editor, which is called Gutenberg. This is like a drag and drop editor that looks like what you get with page builder plugins, but this is now the default WordPress editor. This allows you to, drag and drop things to, build your site. So you can now actually build something custom, keep things where you want. So WooCommerce comes with these default blocks for customizing our store. There are tons of them. All reviews, social reviews, featured category, featured product, and pick product that allows you to select products. There are tons of them, which we are going to explore. Of course, we all don't expect that we are going to learn everything in one day, but the goal of today was just to show us how we can, buy domain, and hosting most especially, and how to install WordPress and WooCommerce. And as we go on, you're going to learn more about, customizing our store. All right, so I'm just going to go back and then show you how you can quickly add products and products category. So because one of the things you want to do is, if you've imported this demo content, you want to now start having your own categories and your own products. So to do that, you go to products, and if you click all products, you're going to see all the demo products WooCommerce imported. We can decide to delete all of them by clicking here. If we click up here, selecting everything, and we can click, you can do the bulk action, move to trash, apply, and then it's just going to trash all of them. And we can also go to categories, and it's going to show us all our products categories, and we can also trash all of them. Either we delete them one by one, or we use the bulk delete action to delete all of them. We can also create our own categories. For instance, let me add a new category. Let's call this, okay, let's call this fashion. If that is correct, we can just describe it. Let me just copy this and press here. You can also set the thumbnail, the category thumbnail here. I just want to select any random image since I don't have anyone to upload. So let me select this, use image, and then we do create. So seeing that has created a fashion category, and then we can add a new product. So we can do new product. Let's call the, okay, let's create a t-shirt. T-shirt. I like to spell t-shirt like this, like T literally instead of the normal T and shirt. And then you can put a description here, a long description for our product, which gives detailed information about the product. And you can see this is a simple product. We can put our regular price. So let's say the regular price is 2,500. You can also put a sale price. This is, you're going to see how that works. Let's put the sale price at 2,000. You know, when you're on Jumia, Konga, they say this product is normally 2,005, but today is 1,500 or it's 2,000, just to make people to buy it quickly. And then we can set a product image, which we are going to just select something here. Let's use this and set product image. And there are other options, inventory, SKU. This is just something, it's not really something, it's just something to, it's not compulsory, but people just use it to help them differentiate between products. And then you can enable stock management. Stock management allows you to set how many of these products do you have. So let's say you have 100 of these t-shirts and you don't want to sell above 100. You put 100 here, and that means once 100 people buy, that product is going to be out of stock and people are not going to be able to order it. So what happens, the next option is allow back orders. What happens if 100 people have bought it? Can people back order? You say allow, but notify customer or allow. When you allow back order, what that simply means is that after you sold out, people are going to be able to, back order it, like pre-purchase it ahead of when it's back again, is in stock. And sold individually. This option is that if you want people to be able to buy just one of these products, let's say you're doing a promo and you just want a lot of people to be able to benefit from it. You don't want somebody to now go, because it's promo price, it moved from 3K to 1K. You don't want one person to go and buy all of the 100. You want to say, you enable sold individually. It means everybody can only buy one unit of this shirt, and there are use cases where people need that functionality. And there's shipping here, which allows you to enter, there are shipping methods like maybe DHL and so on, that allows you to, ship product based on weight. For I think we don't really do that, but you can. There are people that applies to who want to enter the weight and the dimension of the product and what we call shipping class, which help us categorize, which allows us to categorize products and shipping classes, group products to a specific shipping class. What that means is that you can have different shipping options, and you don't want this product to use the general shipping option on your site. You want to create a shipping class and link it because this product has a unique shipping price, and you want to create a shipping class to set that cost, so that whenever someone selects this particular product, they don't see the general shipping price on your shop, they just see the price that is unique to this product alone. That's what shipping class does. And there's linked products, which is used for upselling or cross-selling product. For instance, when we're buying our domain and hosting with Google, we saw that they were recommending things in the cart for us. This is what this does. This allows you to also recommend things, other products, either at the bottom of this product, either when people click this product and then they see recommendations or they see some recommendations at the bottom, which is upsell, or cross-sell, which is when people are in the cart, the product is going to be recommended. The product that you had here as cross-sell, let's say for instance, cap. If someone buys it, they need a cap, and you had this. When someone adds this product to the cart is going to be recommended to them in the cart. And there are stuff like attributes, which for instance allows you to add that there are different colors of the product. Maybe there is black, there's green, or just to display extra information regarding that product. For instance, an attribute could be like maybe manufacturer or brand, Nike, and so on. And there are other options. Purchase note, which allows you to add note to customers when they buy this product. Many other allows you to, control where this is shown on the page. And enable reviews allow you to enable whether people can write reviews on this product. So if you enable reviews, when people are on the product page, they can add their reviews to this product. So of course, we're going to be getting more into this as our meetups goes. In the next meetup, we're going to focus more on how do you really have these products, and getting this really done. For this is a bit rushed, so it may not really be clear to some of us. But of course, we are going to also have the video to watch again. And if this was a virtual product, you can also select that it's virtual and it's downloadable. Once you select these two, it's going to remove the shipping options from the checkout, which means if someone is on the checkout there, this product is not going to require shipping, because this says it's virtual and it's downloadable. And once you click downloadable and you go back to the general tab, you're going to see you are going to have options to add files. Because once you say, if it's just virtual, you are not going to add that option. That virtual means that is a virtual product that maybe a product could be virtual, but it may not be a downloadable product. So when you tick this downloadable, it has, let's say it's an ebook. You want to tick downloadable, and in that case, it will allow you to add the downloadable files, which could be your PDF, your ebook, and so on. But this is a shared, so it's not a downloadable product. So I'm just going to untick these two options, because these are going to remove, if you say it's virtual, it's going to remove the shipping options. And then when you say it's downloadable, it's going to add the option that you can put PDF, but these are not virtual and downloadable product. I just wanted to show us those options. And then you can put this product in, this is t-shirts. So we can put it under our t-shirts or fashion category that we have created. And then once we have done that, we can publish our product. And when we publish our product, we are going to see that this product is also going to start showing up on our store. So we can keep publishing products like that until we replace all the demo content. See, you can see the shirt there. It says T-shirt in the new hint. This is showing the newest product. And you see the price that we are set. We are set that the regular price is 2,500 and the sales price is 2,000. So that gave us this by this, it crossed this regular price and then gave us the discounted price. And someone can add this product to cart. They can view their cart. And you say you may be interested in cap. You remember what I had explained earlier, that the link products, this is what we linked. If we put another product, let's say hoodie, let's select any of these hoodie with logo, and then we update. We'll go back to our cart and we refresh it, seeing that that's added that other product. I just wanted to show you how that really works. We can also create coupons on our store for people to use and get discount. But the truth is we cannot exhaust the features WooCommerce has today. And because of time, I'm going to wrap it up. But on our next meetup, we are going to get more in depth. I just wanted to show you today how easy this is, that if of course, if you visit this URL or any of the URLs of the site that we did today, you can see that they are live on the web and anybody can access them in anywhere in the world. And it's like a real site like any other site. The difference is that we have not, taken our time to really customize it. I think I changed this to, welcome to XYZ store, but I did not update. I did not save the changes. That's why it's still this. So let me just do that again. So that's one. It's a good thing that I forgot that, because it allows me to now remind us to always save changes. Welcome to XYZ store. Always remember to hit update here to save your changes. And then if we go back to our store, we're going to see that that changes is going to reflect immediately. That's how fast it is with WooCommerce. And where you set shop by category, I think we can also go back and it says category limits 3. Let's increase that to, can increase this to 4, just to add extra categories. And then we can see our fashion category is now in here. If you want to maintain the default 3, you can always just delete this one. So the new ones you've created just shows up. So that's how easy it is. You start with the default, with the demo content of your team, and then you just start customizing. We can change even the menus here, which we are going to be doing subsequently, and we can customize everything and completely change the look to what we want. So because of time, I'm going to stop here today, but in our next meetup, we are going to be, see in depth how this really works. How do you go to setting up how do you set up shipping that people can come and see the different shipping options, pick up where they can pick up from your store, free delivery, or setting up different shipping fees and so on. How do you set up payments? For now, like for this one, WooCommerce comes with some default payment gateways. If we go to settings and we go to payments, we are going to see some default payment gateways we can enable: direct bank transfer, cash on delivery. So we can enable this, and we can enable direct bank transfer, and we can click setup here, and then we can put our account details. Let me put my 2058058. Oops, that's supposed to be here. Sunday curfew GTV. That's all what we need for Nigeria. That the rest are not applicable except it's for international transfer. I can add this other information, and you click save changes, and we go back to the payments again. Cash on delivery, which means when people deliver, you can just add some instructions in here. And you notice if you go back to our cart, remember we added t-shirt to our cart. If you view our cart and then we proceed to checkout, we're going to see that payment methods we've enabled: direct bank transfer, cash on delivery. For the fun of it, let me just quickly set up one shipping method, even though we are going to do this in detail later, just to show you how simple it is. We are just going to say add shipping zone. So Nigeria shipping, just for Nigeria, and we're just going to select Nigeria. I want to make this for the whole of Nigeria. We can create different shipping for other different parts of Nigeria. We can make it different for Lagos and so on and so forth. But for this, since we are just rushing this, I'm just going to make one fee for the whole of Nigeria, and I'm just going to set this to, let me set this to 1K, save changes. And if we go back to our store checkout and we refresh, we need to enter our address. So let's change this to Nigeria. Once you enter your address, it's going to use that to update the shipping information. So you can see, since we have just one shipping method for Nigeria flat rate, that's what it's going to show. But if we had other shipping methods, let's say like free shipping, and then we go back and then we refresh, this is going to also give us other options. I just wanted to quickly add that so you see how easy that is. So if I quickly add my information and house address, I don't know which address to use. So let's say 12345 test address, and then city Lagos phone number, and email. Let's see, 0703-848-011 Sunday curfew @gmail.com. And this is the billing address. So some people, their billing address and shipping address are the same, but if you wanted this to be shipped to a different address, just enter ship to a different address and then you can type in that address. But for me, it's the same. So I'm just going to leave that and like click place order. And you can see that WooCommerce has put together a full e-commerce functionality. This is order has been placed. You can see our order number. And I'm going to get an email immediately in my inbox regarding this order that I've placed. And the store owner is also going to get an email notification to say that this order has been placed and provide the order information so that it will be used to ship that order. So if I get the email in my inbox, I'm also going to get this account details in my inbox since I choose the direct bank transfer. And the store owner can now go back to their store. Let's go to our dashboard and we come to WooCommerce orders. We're going to see all orders that have been placed. So this order is on hold because it was paid for using direct bank transfer. So the store owner will now check once they've received that order, they can now change the order status to processing, which is to say that the order is being processed, the payment has been confirmed. That's after you've confirmed the payment. And once you've delivered it, you can change it to completed. And you can also create this default status to help you really understand. So you could just change the status to maybe something like payment received or delivered, just to say you've delivered it. This is just to help you because times you're going to reach time that you are going to have several orders, and this also just helps you filter and know which one have been delivered, which ones. You can see this one have been completed. If you have other ones processing, so that helps you differentiate the different orders so that you'll be able to know which one needs attention and attend to it. So I'm sure with that simple, quick demo that I've done that you've all gotten to understand how easy, how simple this is. I'm going to wrap that up here and take questions. But I want to drop my WhatsApp number. So if you're not on the WooCommerce WhatsApp group, just say hi to me on WhatsApp. Let me know that we are at this meetup. Tell me your name so I can add you to the group so that if you have any question, you can ask on the group. All right, so that's it for today. I'm just going to take any questions that we may have so we can wrap this up. Sorry, this has taken longer than it should. For some reason today, village people decided to join me on my network today, so it was a bit crappy and we ran into a few technical issues, which is one thing I'm always okay with in meetups because I like to run into every possible issue that you may run into, and you also get to see how I resolve them and what to do, which also helps. All right. You can go ahead and ask your question. Yeah, go ahead, please. I'm seeing a hand.
Okay, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Simeon, and I really enjoyed your lecture this evening. Thank you so much for this idea and for the knowledge. And in fact, it is coming free. This is going to be making a lot of us thousands and millionaires, and I really love it so much. I remember I've contacted you sometimes ago that I'm having issues with developing an e-commerce, which you helped me. My question is, most times I've always seen tutorials, and like you also, I was privileged to be in a physical WooCommerce before the lockdown, this COVID-19. There was one you did for us. I was in physical class. You did something like this. You are always doing multi-product e-commerce, multi-product. Is it possible we can use this same shop front, this same plugin to do a single product, different category WooCommerce setup, please?
That we can use
like this person is selling just let me say palm oil or only groundnut oil or honey. Just honey.
Of course,
and
with that you just have
online.
to. Yeah, for that you just have to add only one product to your site. That WooCommerce can add hundreds of products. You have to add 100. You can just add one product, and for that you may just make it look like a regular website. So maybe a landing page.
Okay.
And then that product design is there, and then the direct link to the product itself.
Okay.
Where's our product? Direct link to, let's say, like this T-shirt can be in the button, it can be in the call to action button that says buy now. And then once someone clicks that, it just adds the product to the cart.
To the cart.
So that is what you
So no
can
need
do.
to be as big as Jumia kind of.
Or as big as this. You just make it a landing page, and then WooCommerce is on the background. And then you come look at, for instance, when I over on this product, you see that it shows the URL of the add to cart link.
You're not sharing your screen. You're not sharing your screen.
Sorry. I forgot I had stopped sharing. Let me share my screen again. All right.
Yes.
So this is my screen. Notice this is the T-shirt product. So I can copy the link of this product.
Yes.
Or I can hover on the product. I can move my mouse over the add to cart link. And then if you look at the down part, it's going to show the direct add to cart link, which is my site / all that is showing. So I can copy that. And then if I have a custom landing page that is designed, since it's just one product on that side, people want to see what the product is about. So with that, what I recommend is using a custom landing page. So on that landing page, I can say buy now. And then I add that link there. When someone clicks, you just add that product to the cart. It doesn't have to take them to the single product page. And then WooCommerce is going to add the e-commerce functionality for choosing shipping method. Or if we are ticked that it's a virtual or downloadable product, if it was like an ebook, they're just going to pay and then check out. So you can use WooCommerce even if you're just selling one product to even building a store like Jumia. Like the concept we use now, we can use that to build something like Jumia.
Jumia, yes. That's what I'm saying, multi-product.
Yeah, we can do multi-products, we can do subscriptions, we can do bookings, we can do hotel booking still with this WooCommerce. But that it has all those functionalities doesn't mean that you have to use all of them. You can just use them to sell, whether you want to sell one simple product to selling tens and thousands of products. It's just totally up to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, do we have any other question? Isaiah, Joseph, Muyua, Beniza, do you have any question?
No question. I greatly appreciate this. I'm going to lay my hand on something.
Awesome. And remember, for me, this is not about it's not about events coming and then we do this and then you go and you don't learn anything. So if you don't understand anything, I've dropped my WhatsApp number, and I have just one phone number, and that's the one you have. And I prefer people messaging me on WhatsApp. The only thing I require for you is that when you message, just say your name and our first interaction, just let me know that you're part of the meetup. And knowing your name also allows me to save your contact. And whenever you message again, I know it's you. And I prefer WhatsApp messages so that anytime I'm free, like I get to respond to them, and I try to respond as soon as possible. But I'm just trying to let you know that you can get help beyond this. So message me if you're not on the WooCommerce WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group for the community that people ask questions on the daily. So you can ask your question wherever you need help. And for people who are serious, who want to take this to the next level, who want to get to, building their store or learning to build so they can build for clients and make money from it, you can also reach out. It's like I said, you can also schedule the one-on-one section with me, and it's absolutely free. This for me is not about the money. This for me is that I've done this over the years, and now I'm with the guys at WooCommerce directly. And my goal is basically just to help as many of us learn this, because I know the potential it has. I haven't done this over the years, from building sites for people over the years and seeing that it has changed my life. The goal is basically to help as many people as possible get this skill. So this is not about money for me. So reach out, and I'm going to see how to dedicate time. If we do meetups like this and you feel you missed something, there's something you really don't understand, we can get on Zoom, and then I can share my screen and then just show you a few things to get you to understand. So money is not a limitation. So you don't say, I don't have the money. The limitation is that you want to learn and you're willing to, put in the time to learn and ask the right questions. The only thing I normally ask for people, from people in the community is that you help, share the meetup with your friends, because the goal is to get as many people as possible to join. So just help us share it on Facebook, on Instagram, you know, and on Twitter and so on. That's just all what we require from you as a community. So thank you everyone for joining, and remember to say hi to me on WhatsApp. Let me know that you were in today's meetup. And my phone number again is Steez, and the name is Sunday. You have yourself my contact and message me. All right, thank you guys. Thank you. If there's no question, I'm just going to call it a day for now.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Yeah, remember the steps to start is to get your domain and hosting. So just use the steps that we have done, you know, get your domain name, you know, get your web hosting. So you can actually, because for me, that's what shows that you're serious, that you have your domain and you have your web hosting, because without the domain and hosting, you cannot actually do anything. So get it and then start practicing. That you know, you're going to take practice for you to actually learn this. This is not stuff that you just come to watch people, you know, do. You have to get your domain, you have to get your hosting, and then you have to actually start practicing so you can, you know, really get and understand this. Thank you, everyone, and bye for today. All right.